After such a great year of JRPGs in 2019, it's hard to believe we're about to play a whole bunch more. 2020 so far looks to be a year where we'll be seeing long-awaited games, some remasters and notable remakes, and even in January, I'm mentally juggling a few games already. And there are enough good things coming out that I have a feeling a lot of decisions will have to be made of how to spend my gaming time. So to show the ones I'm most excited for and to celebrate some good-looking 2020 JRPGs, here are 10 of my most anticipated JRPGs of 2020 that I think are worth getting excited about. It wouldn't be a most anticipated games list for 2020 without probably one of the most anticipated games of the last decade, which is Final Fantasy VII Remake. Originally announced at E3 2015, it's been a slow hype train for this one, with a slow trickle of information given about this title until last year, which only helped to build the mystery and intrigue for what this remake would be like, particularly for a game as big as this one. Last year we finally got to see a bit more of what Final Fantasy VII Remake will be like though, with big trailers and live gameplay footage that show the game in more detail, showing off some big story and gameplay moments that take inspiration from the original, all boosted by the beautiful graphic style that makes everything look stunning. When these trailers were coming out more actively, my own hype was probably at its peak, and I almost wish it was released in 2019 as I was much more excited about it then. However, there's no doubt that this game still looks great, and it's a Final Fantasy game I've been wanting to try in any form at some point. So I hope that this one is as great as it looks, and I look forward to trying it in March this year. While not so much a remake as a remaster expansion hybrid of its own, Persona 5 Royal is the re-release fans of Persona 5 like myself have been waiting for. Not only does its re-release give a good excuse to return to the beloved Persona title from 2017, in a Persona 4 Golden style, it also brings in new confidants, new places to explore, and a new main character in the form of Kasumi that helps to add new elements to give replaying the game an old but new feel. I already have Royal in Japanese, and because it's in Japanese, I'm doing what the game recommends and taking my time with it. But so far, the blend of nostalgia and new excitement have been exactly what I hoped it would be, with new things introduced very early on. And its latest English trailers and release date announcement make it look exciting enough that I know I'll play it in English as well. Persona 5 Royal is due out on March 31st, the same month as Final Fantasy VII Remake, but just far away enough to have enough time to play it. So I'm sure myself and many others will be making time for this great new way to revisit a standout Persona game. Persona 5 Scramble is a game I've been covering a fair bit recently. It was dubbed a Warriors spin-off by many during disappointment for the fact it wasn't Persona 5 Switch when it was announced, and the fact that it's an action RPG collaboration between Atlus and Koei Tecmo. But since then, it's been doing its best to disprove that by showing that the plenty of RPG and Persona elements in it show that there's plenty of depth to be found in this action Persona experience. The story will continue 6 months after Persona 5 left off, with the Phantom Thieves heading out of Tokyo into other parts of Japan to explore a new mysterious series of incidents that will have them visiting new and bigger dungeons called jails, all during their summer vacation that is said to be a mix of fun for the group while having a new story and mystery to explore. I've been doing my best to keep up with everything Persona 5 Scramble because every bit of information about its areas and mechanics have looked interesting, and while we still haven't gotten a Western release date for it, I'd be surprised if we didn't see it in English at some point since Persona 5 is so popular. Until that announcement though, it will be out in February in Japan, and it's definitely one I'd love to pick up early to learn more about this different kind of Persona game that I'm really excited to try. Another Shin Megami Tensei related game coming early next year is Tokyo Mirage Sessions FE Encore, which is due to come to Switch on January 17th. Tokyo Mirage Sessions was a game I had always wanted to try as a fan of music, Persona, and Fire Emblem, thanks to the way Mirage Sessions combines all these things. But since it was originally on the Wii U, I never really had a chance to do so. So when it was finally announced to be coming to Switch during September's Nintendo Direct, I was naturally very excited. Its release date is slowly creeping up, and despite controversy about its censorship in both Japan and the West, it's one I still can't help but be excited for thanks to its colorful looking world, flashy looking battles, and its idle premise. With that, it's definitely one I plan to pick up this month as long as nothing else gets in the way. And I'm excited to finally discover its idle fantasy world without buying a Wii U just to try it, and instead on my favorite portable. What may creep into my Tokyo Mirage Sessions time in January, though, is a certain series I've been very into in recent times, which is the Atelier series, as Atelier has a deluxe pack with 3 games in it releasing in January. The Atelier Dusk Trilogy Deluxe Pack will feature Atelier Aisha DX, Atelier Escarin Logi DX, and Atelier Shali DX, which are re-releases of the original games that were on PS3 and will be available to purchase as a 3-game set or as standalone games for Switch, PS4, and PC. Which is a great amount of Atelier to satisfy those like myself who have finished Ryza and are trying to fill the void. I loved last year's Atelier Arlen Trilogy Deluxe Pack so much as it introduced me to some of my favorite Atelier characters and really set my love of Atelier on fire. So with Dusk being a part of the Atelier series that I don't know and have wanted to learn more about, this pack is an absolute must-play for me. Hopefully the success of Ryza last year drives others to try this part of the series as well, and I hope more of these Atelier re-releases keep coming as I'm really enjoying discovering this series more and more. Another game coming from Gust and Koei Tecmo that I'm looking forward to this year is the Fairy Tail one that is set to come out in March. This is despite the fact I honestly don't really know anything about the Fairy Tail series, but I love discovering different anime through games and enjoyed my time with Koei Tecmo's Attack on Titan 2 Final Battle game last year. So with the fact that Koei Tecmo's Gust company who makes Atelier is handling this Fairy Tail game, I can't help but be curious to see how this game turns out. From what I've seen so far, the visuals look really beautiful and true to the series' characters, and will have mechanics based around completing guild tasks. So with that, I'm looking forward to learning more about the Fairy Tail world and seeing how Gust will handle its game flow. My only worry with this title is that it's set to come out in March, which may make it a little difficult to get time for, with Final Fantasy VII Remake and Persona 5 Royal coming out at that time too. But whether it's at launch or later, I'm still hoping that this is one I end up trying, and I look forward to seeing more of its gameplay and systems soon. The Yakuza series was one I discovered through Yakuza 6, which seemed like it would be the lost in the series. However, Yakuza Like a Dragon, also known as Yakuza 7 in Japan, looks like a connected story with a new protagonist. Not only does it have a new protagonist though, it's also switching out its action-based combat for a more turn-based style. So with this and the weird and wonderful activities that the city of Kamurocho always has, I'm excited to see what this new game and this unique series has to offer. Yakuza Like a Dragon is coming out in January in Japan, and sometime this year in the West. I have its Japanese demo sitting on my PS4 at the moment, so I do hope to check it out sooner rather than later, but with the Ryuga Gotoku Studios' seemingly great work with their Judgment game last year that I wish I played, I'm sure we can expect some good things from their interesting next game. The game Void Terrarium is another with a January release in Japan and with its demo sitting on my PS4 as a game that I'm really curious about. It hasn't been announced in the West yet, but its premise of being set in a post-apocalyptic decaying world with an adorable robot trying to build a terrarium to keep a young girl called Toriko alive has really got me interested, along with its aesthetic that has made me really want to try this roguelike RPG. It's being made by director Masayuki Furuya, who is behind games such as the Firefly Diaries and A Rose in Twilight, and while I haven't played those games, they are ones I always thought looked interesting. Since Void Terrarium is being released by NIS in Japan, I would love to perhaps see them pick it up in the West too. But for now, I hope to get to its demo sometime soon to see if it's as good as it looks, and I hope it's a good smaller title we can look forward to playing. Speaking of NIS, it was in 2019 they published Trails of Cold Steel 3 in the West, which was the game that finally got me to try the Trails series. I really loved that game last year, so I was pleased to see that in 2020 we'll get to see it ported over to the Switch, and I'm already hoping I'll have the time to replay it. Even after nearly 90 hours with it on my first playthrough on PS4, the long game I think would be a good fit on Switch because of its length and side activities. I still have bonding events and extra quests I could could do, and doing these in my spare time on the go would be a great way to see more of this game that I really enjoyed. Ideally, I would like to try the Switch version after having played some of its earlier games, since the Trails world has plenty of lore to enrich an experience with. But either way, I would love to revisit 3 on Switch just because I had so much fun with it, so I'm excited to see it come over. The port is set for release in spring, hopefully after that busy Persona 5 Royal Final Fantasy VII Remake time in March, and in any case, it's one I definitely need in my Switch library as a good option to play on the go. For this last entry on this list, I had a few ideas of what I wanted to put here, but then as I was looking back on my top JRPGs for the last few years, I remembered that Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition's release window is for this year, and quickly switched it into this video as my old addiction to Xenoblade Chronicles 2 will see me pick this one up for sure. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 on Switch was my first experience with the series, and I loved it. I loved its skill trees, collecting blades, and learning about their stories, and I loved exploring the sprawling, gorgeous world, whether it was from the comfort of my home or doing it during my day as it was on Switch, and I'd be more than happy to learn more about that world and have that kind of experience again with a remake of the first game in this Chronicles series. Every time I see those sprawling landscapes and grass in the trailer, I get excited to have that kind of journey again, and while we haven't heard much about it since its announcement at Nintendo Direct, I'm confident that whatever they show us next will be well worth the wait, at least if the quality of 2 and its expansion Torn of the Golden Country are anything to go off. Hopefully we hear more about it soon, but it's definitely the game I'm most excited to play on my Switch this year, and I hope it captures my attention just as much as its second game did. Thank you for watching this video. Let me know in the comments below what your most anticipated games for this year are and which one you're most excited for. You can like and share this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to my channel for more JRPG content like this, and ring that bell to get notifications on whenever I post so you don't miss a thing. You can check out more videos here, and you can find me on social media on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, all at JRPG Jungle. Links to those will be in the description below, and until next time, Happy New Year! Thank you! Bye!